Can be quite flexible. You can take common terms from the dictionary and from your everyday speech patterns and find certain words or phrases that can be an open door for you to find a different kind of a self, different kind of a mind, to find a way to go out into the world and not run into the problems that you now run into, or to stay home and run into the difficulties that you now experience. One of these phrases, very common one, you'll recognize it when I give it to you. One of these phrases is simply that of getting tough. You know the phrase? Well, you know the experience well enough. Because ever since you were a little child, you've been getting tough. Too bad. But that's the way it was. Remember when you were younger, going to school, and a child took something away from you or threw something at you? That's a good summary, is it not? To say that you reacted by getting tough in whatever way you knew how, throwing something back. Do you have the insight to see that the society you live in is nothing but a school playground with angry, tough little children running around, throwing things at each other, trying to take things from each other, and everyone ending up crying and sorrowful? Haven't I described the human situation just the way it is? But we're talking about you. We're talking about this dreadful habit that you picked up when you were a child that you've never been able to break, not up till now. You'll learn during the course of this talk how to break it, but now you don't know how. And you call getting tough both an offense and a defense. Someone offends you, says something you don't like, builds up inside of you with a pressure. And so you get tough by either striking back or by running home internally and weeping. And the sad part of it is the difficulty remains. The problem is still there. Monday you cried, and Tuesday the problem was still there. Wednesday you went out and struck back at the world with hostility, and Thursday the problem was still there. Nothing changes. Isn't it about time that you begin to think of a way which will be given to you? You begin to think of a way in which you don't have to repeat yourself, in which you don't have to either have a fight or flight every time a challenge comes up from the outer world. Now, you're under complete delusion if you think there's any protection or any fun in being tough. Look at the drain. Look at how you go home and are worn out at night. Worn out at night. You're tired at 10 o'clock in the morning because you've been wasting yourself ever since you got up. The battle begins when you get up, doesn't it? Somehow you have the wrong impression that you've been conscripted into an army and a rifle has been shoved into your hands and you have to go out and fight the enemy all day long. Where did you get that idea? Who told you you have to go out and fight? Be tough? Well, I'll tell you who. Every human being you've ever met, since you were a little girl, since you were a little boy. You had better, and I highly recommend it, you had better stop believing in what you picked up. No one, nothing, absolutely nothing requires you to go out like a soldier ready for the battle every morning, and yet you do. You do, and you know it. Why? I'm asking you why. I'll tell you why. It's just an exciting habit that you've picked up, and that if it was taken away from you, you wouldn't know how to behave. Let me tell you a little secret. It is possible for each one of you here, all of you listening and watching, it is possible for you to get up and go all day long, all week long, all year long, all life long, and not fight anyone. It is possible for you to do it. How do you suppose you'd feel if that was the case?